Look at all these prototypes here. Just minor changes in each one. In the name of science. A quick theory here about these water fuel cells came to me. I'll redesign these so they're extremely tight fit. You really got to squash these things in here, and they make a really, really tight, strong fit. And I want that because it got me to thinking, if these cells, if these tubes are vibrating, that is essentially an inefficiency. I think of my transformer, the VIC in there, and how I know that one of the bobbins, or I'll just go, one of the bobbins I printed, or a handful of them, were too small, and I had to put some tape in here to make that fit really well. And if this tape was not here, this bobbin at certain frequencies would start to vibrate. And when that happened, I got all kinds of crazy waveforms, and just, it just wasn't performing the way it should. Because when something is vibrating, that is energy being released. So that is an inefficiency. So if this thing's vibrating around on this ferrite core, that is essentially an inefficiency, and we do not want that. We want all the action to be happening actually in the bobbin or in the coils itself. So that got me to thinking, if my cells are vibrating, that means the metal is physically vibrating in this thing, not the water molecules. Only thing we want to be active within these cells is the water molecules bouncing all around in there. Physical impact, particle impact, things like that. So if these cells are in fact ringing, that would be an inefficiency to the cell, because that is energy being released in something else that is not the water, but rather sound or physical vibration of the tubes itself. It's a pretty simple concept, and I think it's got merit to it. These are almost, I think, my completed cells here. I want to maybe close that gap just a little bit further. We see just a little bit of metal still exposed there. So I may take that in just one more time and shrink that hole, just so we have just the metal on the inside of those tubes exposed without any end pieces being exposed, because that could essentially be electron loss to the water bath there. Yeah, I think we have this thing pretty much dialed in here. We're going to be tearing apart. I may tear apart these old cells and just use these tubes, but we are waiting on that stainless steel strip still, so I'll probably maybe just be pulling these things apart, and we'll just have to wait till Monday till we get that stainless steel strip to complete these cells. Here we also may see some inefficiencies in these cells where we have potentially electron leakage or of the sort. There's just a tiny gap between this insulative tubing and the actual stainless steel, and you can see the kind of discoloration there, as opposed to these other tubes which have a very firm, connection there, no gap whatsoever. Those are nice and clean. So is that one. This guy here is potentially leaking, so that right there could be inefficiencies too. So we want to maybe redo the insulation on that one, or something of the sort on these to make these just as insulated, clean, and functional and efficient as possible. But what is strange right there, those have a gap. Also, this one here has a gap as well, but there's no discoloration. Very interesting. Let's tear apart this old cell. And that is definitely needs some adjustment there, as these zip ties probably lose their, let's just say they expand a bit, probably. The real question is, how do we pop these guys off here, because they're probably stuck on here real good like. There we go. at those. Nice colored anodes. I should be wearing gloves. Figured it was out hitting the dang camera. Yes, look at the discoloration on these inner nodes. Look at that. Is that conditioning that I see? I know many people do not believe in the conditioning of the cells. The conditioning of the cells is very important for maximum production. Or production at all, really. Let's see how these fit in my new, oh yeah, like a glove. Looks great. Take a look at this discoloration here. Yep. Might have to redo some of these. On the next series of tube, we may have to request that these ends be kind of burred so they're not flared out. So you can maybe see, because when you cut it, the ends flare. The ends flare, there's a good example of it. You can kind of see the flaring at the end. So if we were to take a grinder to that and kind of grind that down a little bit, these things would probably fit in here much nicer. Don't want to touch these and contaminate all the nice coating we have on these. Look at that. That auburn, that amber color that's built up on these things. Even maybe more so on one end than the other. Maybe on some cells other than the others, but yes, that's definitely a key function. Look at the difference on this thing. Make some light on this subject. That is a brand new tube. That is a very well conditioned used tube. Look at the difference in that. Now I do know from my experimentation, brand new tubes typically do not want to produce that much gas. I've got to run it through either DC electrolysis or maybe my rotary VIC for a significant amount of time till these cells really start producing. I think that's a major component of this work, and that to get maximum results you have to condition your cells. I'm going to hopefully do another video on this here once I get new tubes, so I can verify, the difference between conditioned and non-conditioned tubes, like I have before. But it's another street test just to really drive it home to confirm it. But I'm going to pause here, make some bacon, start tearing apart these other cells, and get them prepped. I got stainless steel coming in tomorrow, so we're going to be hopefully maybe even cells up and active tomorrow. On a side note here, you can see there's a whole lot of rust and nasties inside these cells. I may end up trying to clean these cells out. These have been idle for some time, so these are not my active cells, and these may need some cleaning. All said and done, I'll probably take this out to the vise if it'll fit in here and just squash these guys together as good as possible.
This is Stand Revenge.